What up, all my fight fans? So, the heavyweight championship of the world was defended earlier today. Alexander Usyk versus Daniel Dubois. It was a rematch from the previous fight a couple years ago. It was a very, we all remember that first fight, kind of controversial with that knockdown. A lot of people say it was a low blow. A lot of people say it was a knockdown. So I believe that's why a lot of people wanted a rematch to kind of get the clear-cut victory in this fight. And guess what? We did. Usyk went in there, did what he normally does, waits around, looks for his good shots, where Daniel Dubois does what he normally does, becoming, I believe, in my opinion, a different version of Mike Tyson, where he goes in there, he just constantly throws haymakers. He's not really necessarily boxing. He's just trying to brawl. He's trying to, make it into a dogfight. And that's what he was trying to do to Usyk, make Usyk very, very uncomfortable. Well, Usyk pretty much kept his composure. Usyk was pretty much downloading all the data that he needed to download from Daniel Dubois. And then finally, I believe it was in the 4th and 5th round, that's when he was able to actually hurt Daniel Dubois. He was able to drop him in that 4th round, make it very, very difficult for Daniel Dubois to be like, oh man, this is not the way it was in that first fight. And no, it wasn't. Because in the 5th round, I believe it was, that's when he really, really captivated and really knocked out Daniel Dubois. I want to say necessarily knocked out. He pretty much stopped him where Daniel Dubois couldn't really return that 10 count. Daniel Dubois could not get up. He was dropped, I believe, either twice in the 5th round or twice in the 4th round. It could be dropped 3 times overall. I could be getting that wrong, excuse me. But at the end of the day, Usyk defended his belt and made it clear cut that, hey, I actually am better than you. I actually you did not do what you thought you did in that first fight. So there is no necessarily reason for him to have a 3rd fight. But speaking of 3rd fights, you got Tyson Fury calling out Usyk for a 3rd fight in April. That's one fight that's being called out. But speaking of also calling outs, someone decided to go into that ring, and you got Jake Paul wanting to go against Usyk. Can you believe that? Jake Paul went in there face-to-face with Usyk. You got to give Jake Paul some credit. You really, really do. Because that's something that you don't necessarily or normally see from Jake Paul. Calling out a bigger guy, a stronger guy, and a guy in his prime still. Yes, he is a little older, but he is still doing some things that not a lot of people can do at the age of 38. So you got to give the man Usyk his props. So you got to let me know in the comments, what do you think is going to be next for Alexander Usyk? Is it going to be a big-ass money fight with Jake Paul, or is it going to be a big-ass plus in my opinion, unnecessary fight with Tyson Fury? Let me know in the comments, guys. Like, subscribe, hit that notification button, and I'll see you guys in the next video.